Welcome back to the Vainglory International Premier League here on OGN. We are into our last match of the night, Group C. It will be Hunters versus Hack. We're expecting this one to be a little bit more one-sided.
Yeah, we were talking about how today was super competitive, but it was mainly those first two matches. Hack taking a loss initially to, I think it was Raid.
Yeah.
And Hunters, of course, looking quite nice. Very aggressive to jungle heroes all the time. You see that very consistently amongst the best teams, I'd say. And especially Queen, loving to play that Fortress, as well as Arden, two of those heroes that can really get in your face.
Yeah, and I'm curious, too, because we saw Saw coming in the last match. Was that serious? Is this something that Hunters is going to keep playing? But interestingly, going to Hack, they lose their first game against Raid, but they've actually made some major changes to their roster. Vega, their previous laner, has moved to a sub position. They've put in a guy named Phone into the jungler. They've moved their roamer, Galaxy, to the lane, and they've moved their roamer to the jungle. So
yeah, everything's getting switched up, and I think they had to. These guys are definitely taking it very seriously. They want to make sure they come in with the best chance, especially against a very strong team like Hunters.
And here are two teams. So we'll see if Hack's many position changes, roster changes will actually bear fruit against a team that was top 4 at the Worldwide Invitational. So Hunters definitely an elite team led by Queen's Shot Calling, our only female player in this tournament.
Yeah. We saw our Arden last time, just because Fortress got a pretty significant nerf. I think he's still decent overall, but Arden also a very strong roaming hero. So very curious to see what she's going to pick tonight as well. Will she keep it similar, go for something like that, or maybe mix it up a bit?
So Hunters comes in. They did play the Jungle Celeste in their last match, so some unorthodox picks. Queen picking Arden, came into the Worldwide Invitational, really known for Fortress play, but there were a lot of Fortress bans over the course of that tournament, and so we'll see if she actually gets a chance to pick it up today. And we will move on to Wands. That Jungle Celeste, very interesting stuff. We talked about it with Beyond, but it was banned out. We didn't get to see it there, but we did get to see it with this Chinese team. And he definitely had some very nice plays. We're going to take a look at some of them right now.
Yeah. The non-targeting specialist.
We just call those skill shots, actually.
That's very true.
Fantastic point-blank accuracy with the Solar Storm.
One shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots.
I'm already drunk, Valdez. I'm already drunk.
The Vainglory drinking game. Every time a heliogenesis goes off, you take a shot and then you die after the game because, of course, it would be a lot. But yeah, I mean, Celeste and Arden, a fantastic 1-2 punch. We'll see if they'll be able to pick that up tonight.
And Godfather, the Saw. Questionable. He played it well. What I liked most about what Hunters did in their last match was they used heliogenesis and Saw to create these big zones. So they were playing around zone play, just making sure that they could take camp safely, keep enemies out of brushes, and so it was about controlling areas on the map. It worked well.
And at the same time, you know, as I mentioned before, Arden with that gauntlet, you can lock down so many of the members of the enemy team up to 2 or even 3 if you get, you know, a very nice team fight in you. But it's I feel like if we don't see Arden, we won't see Saw. I'm just going to say that right now, but maybe I'll be proven wrong.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good bet. I just don't think we're going to see Saw no matter what. I think they knew when they played against Wild that they were a big favorite. Now, you can say the same thing tonight. Plex will be now playing the roam position. Played a jungle Adagio in the last match. Let's see here on his phone.
Yeah. I love how we pressure every single player into doing some kind of introduction ceremony.
Well, you can't just sit there awkwardly, right?
Yeah.
That's not an option. I would spin around in my chair really fast. There's Phone, the new player. I don't think he's playing on his phone, though. I think he's actually playing on a tablet. That Why name yourself phone if you're going to play on a tablet?
No, actually,
he is playing on his
he
phone.
is on a phone. I'm looking over.
It looked like his hands were down in tablet index finger position.
Phone on the phone, no surprise here. We'll see what the other member, Galaxy, will show to us.
And Galaxy played a Roam Catherine in their last match, but now he is the laner. So the two players who remain have changed positions. Phone, a brand new player here. What are they going to show us? Because this is entirely different to what we've seen before.
I think the only way you can actually switch up every single position is if you practice a ton before these matches. These guys do not want to go down to Hunters without a fight at least. And see what they do have prepared for tonight.
Indeed. So Hunters, now this is probably Group C. I think from the games we've seen, does look like the weakest of our groups. Hunters should be taking this one with ease as we head into pick and ban. Glaive banned by Hunters and Celeste banned by Hack. So no more Wands, Jungle Celeste shenanigans.
Yeah, unfortunately, it would have been nice to see, but I guess it does make sense going up against Juan and Glaive banned out.
Well, I guess Plex is playing the lane this game. Nobody knows what's happening on Hack anymore. Everybody plays every position. And now looking for the lock-in here from Hunters. And the Celeste will be played, the Catherine rather, will be played once again by Queen. Wands will be possibly playing a jungle Scarf.
I believe so.
All right, well, that's going to do it. Two ranged carries here coming in. Let's get into the game.
Unfold has begun.
Group C, Hunters versus Hack here on the Halcyon Fold. And, well, if he can't play Celeste, he's still going to play a Crystal Pero power carry, damn it.
Yeah.
That'll be Scarf.
I've been finding these guys quite powerful in the jungle. It gives you one of the fastest clear times you could possibly have for both of them. I'm not sure exactly what the definitive clear time at the highest level is compared to Celeste and Scarf just yet, but definitely similar, I'd say.
We were also told that Phone was the jungler, but actually Galaxy is going to be jungling, and Phone will be roaming here on the Catherine, has that Iron Guard contract. Looks like Galaxy going to go for a Crystal Power Jewel build.
Look at this, very quick gank coming in. Gonna get the stun, lining up with the jump.
Oh, very nicely done. Great gank early, just chaining the two stuns into each other from Jewel and Catherine to pick up that very quick kill.
Yeah, you gotta do that before Godfather is able to pick up those sprint boots. It's a pretty easy kill with two of those stuns and the slow coming out of Plex on that Ringo at the same time. So very nice strategy so far. Gonna take control of the jungle now.
Yeah, they have so much crowd control. Two stuns. They have the slow coming in from Ringo too. So lots of abilities just to pick on a one target, isolate them, and burst them down. That's what they're going to get done.
Look at this. Scarf actually being played by Wands is actually counter jungling, going invading all the way deep in there as the rest of Hack, the entire team goes into the jungle of Hunters. So very nicely done.
Yeah, bold. He will just recall back after taking a couple of camps, so he's not going to be found. The Ringo versus Ringo matchup here. Mid lane, Plex versus Godfather. Pretty even so far in terms of CS, but that first kill, of course, going over to Plex.
Getting a zoom in here on Godfather. He's playing on that tablet, of course. I think that's the mini.
I don't know.
Looks like it looks like what I play on, so I play on that mini as well. Looking to get an upgrade soon. Find that the bigger iPads actually handle the game a bit better, but I mean players play on phones, so I shouldn't be complaining.
Yeah. Well, they like to do it. I mean, there are different advantages, right? I've talked to the players who like to play on the phones. They think it gives them better kiting because you don't have to move so far in order to get those fine mechanics in, but obviously it can be difficult to get the same level of accuracy and control, considering it is smaller, but...
Yeah. I haven't tried it myself just yet, but I imagine clicking on the minions can be quite hard if you're playing on a phone. But
I think so.
I
Some
don't
of these
know.
guys definitely make it work, so it's impressive.
Yeah. I've got some big fingers, Monte Cristo, so I can't quite...
You're going to fat finger Vainglory on a phone.
I don't think it'll work. But I could try. Always try.
Okay, you know, looking at this composition from Hunters, I like what they're doing. You have a lot of tankiness in the Catherine. You're going to get that quick tension bow, more than likely, early on with Ringo, which gives you that early game punch, and then you can scale into the late game damage with the Scarf. So you have a pretty smooth power curve right here. Even if you are a bit squishy, you do have some nice burst damage. There we go. And they're going to try and get some damage onto Plex. Will hit him with the Achilles shot, and they're going to zone him out with that Rocket League coming in from Jewel. So no finisher on that kill, but they do push back the enemy Ringo and start to invade the jungle. Ooh,
That sprint boots activation there from Wands shows you the highest level of multitasking.
Okay. Boy, they're going to try and defend right now. A big HP advantage for Hack, and they're going to have to fall back. Godfather coming down just to zone a little bit. Galaxy going to isolate Wands. I don't think he wants to be there, though. Stun comes in, and here we go. There's the Merciless Pursuit. They get the kill. Trade 1-for-1. But Plex low. Godfather now coming into the mix. Goop is down. Scout Trap goes off, but it's not enough. And, ooh, Spitfire just barely going to miss. Plex gets out of that with the move speed boost from the Twirling Silver.
Godfather still looking for the kill. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Just going to have to walk back to lane here. So overall, a pretty nice fight there from Hunters. A lot of confidence you can tell in their play. You know, even though they are that deep all the way towards the eastern wall of the jungle of Hack, they're still, you know, going head to head. We do see Godfather getting into a nice position as well, joining his team very fast. Not just sitting in the lane as most of your solo queue laners will do.
Always nice when you have that help. As when your team wants to push forward, getting out of that lane and making sure that you have the backup for any kind of jungle play that goes on. Right, so Tension Bow is finished now, and that's actually a very big power spike, because getting the Tension Bow first means that you have such an edge and harassment in the lane, because what that item does is it front loads your first auto attack every 6 seconds for some extra damage. And so if you have that, you basically, of course, can win nearly any trade. It will be picked up at the same time by Plex.
The burst damage is just
huge.
It's gigantic. It's not something to be messed with. I think it's definitely at the highest level, something we're going to see almost all of the time. You see sometimes these Ringos go straight into Sorrowblade and play for the very, very late game. Don't buy many infusions early on in the game. They want to save that money in order to buy these big power weapons, I would say, and just play for like 20 minutes in. But, of course, you're giving up control of the gold mine. You're giving up these early fights.
Especially when you have the Scarf who's already scaling. That is a big risk. And there's the Scout Trap going down. Rather, they're going to kill him nearly instantly. There's the damage we were talking about. The Tension Bow burst is absolutely huge. So pretty easily taken. Godfather trying to get out of this. Achilles shot is down onto him. There's a nice stun, but he is going to use his boots to get out. And there is the Dragon's Breath. Trying to turn this one around, but this Hellfire Brew will pick up Godfather on the backside of that fight.
Big mistake there. Godfather could have easily backed off, and they could have taken a very quick and easy gold mine with the Scarf. But now you see Hack is going to come in here and challenge this.
Oh, can they steal it? And no, they can't. Scarf will get the payout in the end, but here comes Jewel. They will pay for it with a kill. Queen coming around will have the backup of Ringo, so no one going to finish her off right there. Ooh, Scout Trap's being activated. Very close to killing Phone.
Playing with
what
fire,
I've heard.
playing with traps.
Hello. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And
sitting down before his death, taking it like a man.
do you want to die sitting down, Valdez?
Not quite, but apparently Plex does.
And there's nothing he could do right there. He doesn't have that reflex block yet to block the ability, and he just can't trade because his ult was down. So that's a nice all-in by Godfather, knowing that he had the ult off cooldown, so that he would win that trade in the end and be able to wrap up that kill.
Yeah. my eyes right now on Godfather. I mean, he's known as one of the best laners in. He was named the best laner of the Invitational, which is quite surprising considering that there were so many good laners over there. I mean, you had Areki Zoro, you had Sangho from Invincible Armada, but Godfather took the prize, and he's quite a fantastic laner. He's just gotta, I feel, not get overconfident and just fight with his team.
Siege starting right now for Hunters. And the question for Hack is, how do they deal with the poke? Scarf and Ringo. First off, Ringo can set up Scarf skill shots with the slow from the Achilles shot. Makes it a lot easier, especially before you overdrive that ability, but it is done now. And Hack basically has to be very decisive. They need to engage this fight. They have the crowd control, the stun engage. They're gonna go for it right now. Wants to set up rush. There's the big red button. Doesn't really hit anybody though, and that's not going to be enough to take out Wands. He will just back out of that fight. Reflex blocked actually the Ringo ult, so Plex will fall.
Galaxy on that Crystal Power Jewel, not really outputting enough damage, I feel, in these team fights. She got her ult down onto Wands, but he was able to successfully escape, and the rest of them got away scot-free, killing one of her teammates. So,
I think
not the best fight there.
The thing about this Crystal Jewel is he's going straight for a Shatterglass first, which is the big, just flat Crystal Power item. But that makes him very dependent on hitting that ult. And that is, the big red button has a long, very long cooldown. So if you mess it up like you did in that last fight,
120 seconds.
If you mess it up like you did in that last fight, you're basically just invalidating the entire purpose of your build. So, not good.
You gotta take a page out of the book of, I think it was, who is it? The jungler for Invincible Armada, Wine, was playing that Crystal Jewel very, very nicely.
He played it well, and just using that rocket leap to reposition, I think, is really the key there. Before the fight starts, you want to make sure that you're in the exact right place, but they're in a tough situation because they sort of need the rocket leap to engage, because if they don't, then the poke from Ringo and Scarf is just going to slowly peck away at them.
Yeah, especially when you have a Catherine that's going for Fountain of Renewal first. She's not going to have the tanky stats to be able to engage by herself. When you have the ability to kite her for so long with both the slow from Godfather, the stun out of the Catherine from Queen, and even the slow from the Goop from Wands, they have so many abilities to just get away from Phone and just kite her forever.
Here we go. They're going to try and kite this one out. They catch Godfather. Big red button comes in, but it's not quite enough to get the kill. He's healing on the backside as he kites out of this fight, and there goes Phone. They turn it around, and there's that kiting. If you can't get that kill right away and you're Hack, I mean, that's it. You're just going to get poked out of the fight, get kited, and how do you defend the turrets now? It doesn't matter that Godfather has no HP.
You know, it's kind of a... Now that we're seeing it come into effect, I mean, keep in mind, Hack is behind, but... Part of it being is that Galaxy going for these very late game items, the Shatterglass, as we said, but it's kind of a gimmicky, catch out one person composition. And once Ringo, Godfather, gets his reflex block up and he can reflex block the stun and just get out of the big red button, the fight is almost always going to go in favor of Hunters. And I don't know, maybe they have to go for the Scarf, not allow him to counter ult with his Dragon's Breath, but the positioning so far out of Wands has been fantastic. He's always in the back.
Yeah, and now it's even worse, too, because Hunters picked up the Crucible onto the Catherine, so that's just one more tool that they have to keep their carries alive long enough to kite out of this one. Pluck's going to face check a brush right there, and that's going to be the end of him, more than likely. They get onto Godfather, but he's still, again, able to kite. There's not enough damage here. This is like...
Scarf's not even there, keep in mind.
Hey, Galaxy, sure he has that Thunderstrike, but that's just, it's not going to be enough. You can't get in range of Godfather's Ringo right now reliably. Oh, nice. But Godfather's still going to stay alive. Crucible goes down right there. And that means the push continues. Wands is here. Wands can burn down this turret quite easily.
Whoa, the pole getting in the way. Not sure about that one. Godfather was trying to line up the Hellfire Brew actually onto the Ringo Plex, but nice stun coming out of Catherine. You saw him actually foregoing even attacking Phone to get that target down, but it just didn't line up on Ringo, but they were able to get a kill regardless.
So clearing out some of those Scout traps, and then backing to base. Just a total domination. Huge gold lead, effectively doubling that of their opponents. And a lot of that's coming through, I mean, not only obviously the kills and the turrets that have gone down, but the big farm lead, because Wands has been in control of Hack's jungle and repeatedly farming it out for himself.
Let's see if Hack can... Oh, they're not even going to try for that gold mine. They're playing very passive, saying, okay, go ahead and take minion mines, whatever. We're just going to sit back and farm. And maybe just sit in one brush and try to catch out one member. Because as I said before, this is a very gimmicky comp. They just have to catch out one person. Maybe they can turn a team fight around, but...
Oh, there we go. Engage onto Plex already. And there's the big red button, but Juan's going to be able to survive that and still output damage. They have nothing to stop Juan's from just free firing right now. Here comes the Dragon's Breath, and that's going to speed up Ringo as he gets into this fight, and that's going to be it. I mean, you can't kill Wands or Godfather immediately, then the comeback is real.
Yeah.
Hunter's just going to walk into the enemy base using that regeneration that they get from the Ace. They're all topped up. Tank the turrets with Queen's Catherine, and that should be the end of this game.
Yeah, looks like it. Ringo's going to respawn, but it just doesn't matter. Too much DPS, and they will be able to finish off this Vein Crystal. And another win going to be going towards Hunter.
Right.
Very nicely done.
Crystal will shatter, and Hunter's improves to 2-0. Hack makes some roster changes, but they still fall 0-2 in the group stage. Tough loss, but see if they can bounce back potentially next season.
Yeah. I'm just loving the crystal power, like that heavy carry type crystal power on either Celeste or Scarf in that jungle spot. You're not going for, you know, another weapon power guy assassin like Tak or anything like that. You just have another gigantic threat in your back line with Catherine always in the front. It's quite nice.
Queen, it's impressive too that they're able to play with these two ranged carries consistently. It really is a testament, I think, to Queen's ability to peel for the back line. Doing a very good job with that.
Yeah. So far, Hunter's the big team to beat in Group C. We haven't seen any team put up that great of a fight. I mean, this game ending in 14 minutes, and it was very one-sided. I think it was double the gold for Hunters over Hack in that game by the end of it.
Yeah, just absolute dominance from the Chinese squad. And the man of the match will be Godfather on that laning Ringo. Very nicely done from him, and we are going to go to a man of the match interview, of course, with Jae-sung here to translate what is said in Chinese into Korean into English. So,
the greatest game of telephone ever.
Not sure how accurate this entire process is going to be, but hopefully we can learn something from Godfather over the course of this trilingual interview phase. Good stuff. So setting up right now. We will get into that shortly as we look lovingly at Godfather's stern expression.
Staring into our souls. Here we go.
All right, Jae-sung.
All right, thank you, Monty and Brandon. Let this telephone game actually begin. We also have translating from Chinese to Korean June Park, and just do an introduction for him. And we have Godfather speaking here. So how do you feel about your current win? Play like how I usually play. Because my team's playing a little bit passively, I try to play more aggressive. It seems like your team has improved a lot since the Invitational. Did you guys do anything to improve better or practice? We practice a lot. If there was any problems, we try to fix it through different methods. And we try to scrim a lot with other teams too, so we can learn all their methods. So you guys won 2 matches, getting closer to the semifinals. How do you feel about the current status of your team, and what do you want to say going on forward? He says that they'll try to improve on and on, try to prove that they're the best team from China and maybe best team in the world. So please give a big round of applause, and back to you, casters.
Thank you very much for the hopefully accurate translation of the interview of Godfather. And that'll wrap up another day here at the Vainglory International Premier League. And here are our results. PQQ upsetting Invincible Armada to start off the day. Gangstars controlling Beyond from the beginning of the game. And then Hunters taking a very clean win over Hack.
Yeah, I think Hunter's going to get out scot-free in first place Group C, but Group A is kind of all over the place here. Invincible Armada, the team that actually won the Invitational over here in Korea, going down to 1-1 now. Whereas PQQ, the favorites in Group A.
And now they're facing the possibility that they don't even leave the group stage, which would be pretty shocking. Results here in the end, as we take a look at our standings right now. 2 wins for PQQ, only 1 for Invincible Armada. Gangstars on top of Group B. Hunters on top of Group C at the moment. So looks like we've got our power teams here, but I think the surprise is that PQQ up 2-0.
Yeah, definitely is. Just looking at who these teams are going to be facing next, I think Invincible Armada goes up against Victorious, which should be a win for them, whereas PQQ is going up against Unknown.
Well, we'll have to see how that works out. It is a round robin, so we'll take a look at our matches for this Sunday afternoon Korean Standard Time. So kicking off the day will be Victorious versus Unknown.
Yeah. Then we're going to go into VIP versus Tiger Phobia, and then one last match there we'll get to see eventually here. Victorious versus Unknown.
And Victorious took a pretty hard loss in their first match, so probably Unknown going to be the favorites in that matches. They need to win both of their remaining 2 games pretty much if they want to get out of the group. That would be quite difficult. VAP versus Tiger Phobia coming in our second match.
Tiger Phobia, the other big team from Korea, taking a loss from their first match. Kind of surprising. We'll see if they can get 2 wins in a row and at least secure second place.
And the final match will be Raid versus Wild. So Raid having perhaps a good chance to get out of Group C in that second place position if they can continue to put up wins like they did in Game 1.
Yeah. Looking quite strong there. It's been kind of a day that we expected. 2 very competitive matches to start things off. Gangstars taking their win was a little bit more one-sided compared to the first game there, and then Hunters just grabbing that final win.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with Beyond and how well they managed to play from behind, even though there was sort of this blitzkrieg strategy used by Gangstars as the camera takes several trips in front of our camera.
Iraqi Zoro even said it. Like I saw them on the way to the bathroom, and he's like, "Wow, that was so stressful. We thought we may not even be able to end that one, just because Scarf was such a threat the entire game." You know, and if they weren't able to take him down, they lost every team fight that they weren't able to. So it was quite stressful indeed.
So Beyond, we'll see if they can still make those playoff positions. And we will see you guys on Sunday. Till then, Monte Cristo and Valdez.